All right, today we're going to be looking at section 6.5 and 6.6, which we're going to be dealing with linear inequalities and as well as systems of inequalities. Now again, this is very similar to graphing a single line, as well as this is very similar to systems of equations. Okay, very similar to those sections, because that's why it's important that you learn how to graph a single line, and that's why it's important that you learn how to graph two lines at the same time, which would be a system. All right, systems are graphing two functions at the same time. So therefore, we're going to be graphing linear inequalities as well as systems of inequalities, which means you'll be graphing two linear inequalities at the same time on the same graph. All right, how are they similar? Well, they're both similar in the fact that we are going to make sure that both of our equations or inequalities are written in slope intercept form. Which of course, anybody tell me what slope intercept form is? Good. Y is equal to mx plus b. All right, what are our two components that we consider when graphing? And again, this is a review of how to graph a single line, because this is what we're dealing with in inequality. The slope and the constant. So therefore, we have our slope, which is our m, which this represents our what? Slope. M represents the slope, which this gives us what? This will be the what? Rise over run. Good. All right, that's our m. Remember, the m is the coefficient of x. This is our slope, which is also our rise over run. The next component of it would be our b, which our b is what? Well, it is the, well, it's a constant, but I'm looking for the other name. It's the what? It's a start point, but it's on the what? What do we call that? The y-intercept. Good. So therefore, this is my y-intercept, which this is my actual start point. And of course, in this particular form, this is also recognized again as the constant. All right, just reviewing over all those terminologies. So therefore, if we was to break down the components of graphing a line, if you was given something in slope-intercept form, or even if you had to convert it to slope-intercept form, which if we were converting, what are we solving for? Y. We're solving for y. We want to get y alone. So therefore, now if I was converting, I know my slope to be my rise over run, which is the coefficient of x, my m, and then you have your b, which is your start point, which is your y-intercept. This is where you would start in terms of graphing. All right? So therefore, that's that, just as a review.